Okay, yeah. Yeah. How you doing? You say great. I'm blessed RN, nursey. And I help students to conquer dosage and defeat dosage calculations. So, if you're in nursing school, let me know which program you're in: LPN, RN, BSN, associates, accelerated, what you got going on. We'll do a couple of questions now. Of course, tonight will be the official Work It Out Wednesday session, but I was feeling a little studious, so hey, here we are. All right, so on this channel, this page, whatever you want to call it, I do dimensional analysis because dimensional analysis, in my opinion, is going to get you all the way through school. If you're not good at math, and you're not sure which parts to use, what numbers to use, how to set it up, dimensional analysis will get you through it. I promise you. Desired over half is good. It starts off a little easy, but as you get to more complicated problems, as you'll see, it gets a little bit tougher if you're not mathematically sound, and that's okay. So this is the puzzle piece method for dimensional analysis. So this one right here is a intake and output question. We know that anything that goes in the body that is liquid at room temperature counts as going in. Anything that comes out the body is going out. So a nurse is calculating the I's and O's for a client. The client consumed 2 cups of coffee, 7 ounces of orange juice, 2.5 liters of IV normal saline, and 4 ounces of lemon lime soda. You know that's a Sprite. But what is the intake in the milliliters? Okay, so everything with an intake and an output question, you have to convert to milliliters and then add it together. So if you know how to multiply, divide, add, and subtract, then you can do nursing math. Okay. Oh no, my top fell off. Uh, oh no. Oh no. Okay. Whoop. Okay, so let's do it. So everything has to be converted to milliliters. So I will preach this to I'm blue in the face. If you don't know your metric conversions, it's gonna be hard for you for dosage calculations. You gotta learn your conversions first. Okay, you gotta be comfortable with them. I failed last semester because of dosage. I bought your workbook. I hope it will make a difference. Oh yes, yes. Well, hopefully we can make some stuff shake. I don't know how to say your name. Faraha 2424. Okay, conversion is not my friend. Well, conversion got to be your friend. It's got to be. Okay, so this is what we'll do. We'll go and we'll convert all of our available amounts to milliliters. All right, so first, if you have two things that like are the same, or two or more things that are the same units of measure, you can combine them, and you can combine like terms, and you can just do one conversion. So you see how that 7 ounces of orange juice is in ounces, and that 4 ounces of lemon lime soda is in ounces. You can add those two together and make what 7 plus 4 is 11, and you could just do one conversion. The rest of them we'll have to do individually. So what we are doing now, and until kingdom come, is not math per se. We're solving puzzles. So when you get a puzzle, it comes in a box. That box has a picture. Your picture is what your puzzle is supposed to look like. That is going to be your goal. Your goal is what the question is asking you. So for this first part, we're going to convert 2 cups of coffee, right? So 2 cups equals how many milliliters, okay? So that means our goal is milliliters. We want to set up an equation where just the unit of measure of milliliters is the only thing that is not canceled out. This goal will be your best friend, from the easiest ones like this to more harder ones like weight based and critical drips and all that jazz, okay? So I know that I'm looking for milliliters. My puzzle pieces are going to be the parts of the question that I'm going to use to piece together my equation and or conversions. So we know that we have 2 cups. It's got to be converted to milliliters. That's when your conversions comes in. Does anybody know how many ounces are in a cup or how many milliliters are in a cup? Okay, so there are in one cup there are 240 milliliters. Okay, so cool. Oh my God, will you be on this evening? Yes, I'm gonna be on this evening. The Cali chick. I just hopped on for a second this afternoon. All right, so these are pieces. So I got a cup to milliliter conversion. So that is all that I need. How I'm going to set up my equation every single time is starting with the goal. Your goal is your best friend, okay? Keep it first and it's your top priority. So what I mean is that goal, which is milliliters, it needs to be first and it needs to go on the top. So this has my milliliters in it, okay? I'm going to flip it. Whoop, and put the milliliters on the top. Okay, it does not change the fact that one cup equals 240 milliliters. It is just simply repositioned. Just like when I said we're doing puzzles, your puzzle pieces don't come already together when they come out the box. You have to reposition them, right? So now I have cup on the bottom. This is how you tell what comes next. Whatever is on the bottom now, because this is goal, this can stay, right? Whatever is on the bottom, if it's not a part of the goal, has to be canceled out. So, in order to cancel things out, you have to have the same measure on the unit of measure on the top and on the bottom. Okay, and they have to be the same. You can't put a microgram on top of a milligram because they're not equal. They're different by the factor of 1,000. Okay, so I have my 2 cups that needs to be converted, and it's just by itself. It just equals to 2 cups. Anything that's by itself is going to be by itself. So I put it over 1, okay? That 1 is a placeholder showing you when you get your puzzle completed that number is going to be in that top line of numbers to multiply. Because we'll multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom, and then we'll divide the top by the bottom, okay? So 240 times 2 is going to be 480, and 1 times 1 is 1, so that means we have 480 milliliters of coffee that they consume. And these folks love their coffee in the hospital. You bring them coffee, it's like bringing them gold. All right. So that was the first part. Now we'll have to convert. So I'm gonna add my 7 ounces of orange juice and my 4 ounces of soda together. Okay. So that's gonna be 11 ounces, and it needs to go to milliliters. So my goal is milliliters. So my puzzle piece would be the 11 ounces. I know that 1 ounce equals how many milliliters? Do y'all know how many ounces equals a milliliter? How many? 1 ounce equals how many milliliters? 30, exactly, right? So, whoa, I need to change this out. All right, those are my puzzle pieces. What am I going to start with first? My milliliters, because that is the goal, okay? So take this piece right here, you flip it. 30 mLs is 1 ounce. Now my ounces are on the bottom, so I need to put my ounces on the top so they'll cancel out. I'll put it over 1 because it's not equal to anything, it's just itself. So then we'll do 30 times 11, which is 330 milliliters. Okay, so that is my orange juice and my soda combined because both of those were in ounces. Okay, so next we'll do our 2.5 liters of normal saline. Anybody know how many milliliters is in a liter? 1,000. Very good. All right, so 2.5 liters. So 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. Once again, I'm going to start with my goal, okay? So, yep, you're right. I'm just showing you how you can set up any conversion. You do it the same way, okay? So my liters on the bottom, liters on the top, cancels out. 1,000 times 2.5 is 2,500 milliliters. So I'm going to put that over here with all of my other converted amounts. And that's all of my liquids, right? Boom. Yep. So I'll just add those together and that's going to be my intake. So 2,500 plus 330 plus 480 equals 3,310 milliliters. Okay. Did y'all get that? I see some answers. Okay. 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 Yes. Any questions about what we did for this? We'll get a little bit harder in just a second. I just started. We like to start off a little easy. Okay. Once you get the puzzle piece method and how you set it up, what your pieces are, you can do any problem the same way. Okay. It's a handful. I'm not gonna say any. There's a handful. It's like maybe three or four that have their own specific formulas, like scientifically formulated formulas that you have to use that formula for. But the rest of them, yeah, you can do it just like this. Okay. So, no questions. You're welcome, April. You're welcome. I hope everybody's doing well. Are y'all on spring break right now, or have you already had spring break? All right, so this is a suspension, amoxicillin. I used to love this pink stuff when it was little. When I was little, when I be doing Reconstitution, Janie, I can cue up a Reconstitution one. I don't think one is in this little set that I've got, but I can queue up one. All right, so 180 mg's by mouth twice a day is ordered for a patient who can't swallow pills. It's supplied as 125 mg's per 5 milliliters. How many milliliters should you administer? Okay, so what is this question asking for me to give it? Milliliters, right? Okay, so that's the goal. Do I ever do these on the weekends? At night, I work during the day and I go to school at night. Sometimes I do. So currently, I am on a contract, and most of my weekends are like working. But if you have your notifications on, then you can catch them. Also, all of most of, I don't like saying all because that's a generalization. Most of my replays, sometimes all, but mostly most, are on my YouTube channel. So if you miss it, then you can watch the replay on my YouTube channel, A Blessed RN. I also have it broken down, like other questions by themselves. So if you don't want to watch a whole replay session and you're just looking for like for a specific type of question, they're there. Okay. All right. So, what are puzzle pieces? So, what's together stays together. Oh, thank you, April. I appreciate the roses. All right. So, what's ordered? 180 milligrams. That is one dose. If it doesn't have slash minute slash day slash hour behind it, it is one dose. Okay. So then this is the concentration of the medicine. That's how much we need to figure out to give the patient, right? So these are our two puzzle pieces. Do we need BID? What is BID? BID is the frequency, okay? Frequency is how often you give a dose. Is this asking for how many milliliters per day? It just said milliliters. So if it doesn't say per day, per hour, per whatever, it is for one dose, okay? All right. So we don't need this. So, what am I going to start with? Because this is a lot of the questions or problems that people have with dimensional analysis is how do you set it up? How do you determine what's next, what's on the top, and what's on the bottom? So, you always start with your goal, okay? This has my goal unit in it, right? Milliliters. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to flip it and put it on the top. 5 ml over 125 milligrams. Now I need milligrams on the top because that's not a part of the goal. Anything that's not a part of the goal has to get canceled out. Okay? So 180 mg's will go on the top, and because 180 milligrams is just by itself, it's by itself. Don't make it equal to a day, to a person, to whatever. It's just by itself. Put it over one. That one's going to show you boop. That 180 is on the top. Okay? So now everything is canceled out except for what it is that you were looking for, which is milliliter. So we'll do 5 times 180, 5 times 180 divided by 125, which is going to be 7.2 milliliters. So you multiply across the top, boom. Multiply across the bottom, doom doom. Divide the top by the bottom. Okay? Easy enough? This is amazing. I have an exam tomorrow. I pray you do well. And thank you. My chem teacher would ask for the day. They can ask you for anything. So that, let me make that point. It is important for when you see the goal that you get all of what it's asking for. If it's milliliter per day, milliliters on the day, I mean milliliters on the day, milliliters on the top, day on the bottom. If it says milliliters per dose, milliliter on the top, dose per milliliters on the top, doses on the bottom. So whatever it's asking for, you give it exactly what it's asking for. No more, no less, okay? Because that's going to influence your equation setup. All right. Up. It was another little conversion that got stuck in here. Nah, we already did that. We did enough converting. Let's do it. Let's do some big boy stuff. All right. Here's heparin. Why do we flip the milligram and the milliliter? You flip the milligram and the milliliter because you always want to start with your goal. Okay? If you start with what you're looking for, you don't have to go and find it. Everything else that comes behind it will be canceled out. And it'll make your setup much more easier. Okay? Um okay. Do 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 do. Heparin. Heparin, it freaks a lot of people out, but it's okay. It should freak you out because if you give too much of it, your patient gonna bleed everywhere. If you don't give enough, your patient's going to clot. Okay. How did I? Okay, hold on. We got questions. Wait a minute before I get into heparin. So you do 580. Well, 5 times 180, which is 900. Well, do. So 900, and then over 125. And you just divide the top by the bottom. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all had questions and I moved on. How often do I do dosage? I usually come on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. So I'll be on later on tonight for a much, much longer session. This one is just a little quick afternoon jazz. But yes, I'll be on tonight, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then you can catch the replay on my YouTube channel, A Blessed RN. I also have other problems broken down on there as well. Okay. Any more questions before I move on? I'm sorry, I moved too fast. I'm sorry. We good? Okay. We're not doing that one because we already converted. All right. Heparin. Heparin is a weight-based medication. It depends on the dosage depends on the weight of your patient, okay? So, usually you'll have your weight of your patient, how many units per kilogram per hour that they want them to get, and then the concentration of the medicine. So those I like to refer to as the 3 P's: patient's weight, prescription, product, okay? So, we've got 20,000 units and 500 milliliters of normal saline. The order is to administer a drip at 18 units per kilogram per hour for a patient weighing 196 pounds. Calculate the units per hour and milliliters per hour. Okay, so this is asking for 2 different things. So we'll do 2 different problems. Let's do the units per hour first. So our goal would be unit on the top, hour on the bottom. Okay, so if my goal is not asking about milliliters, liters, anything that is liquid, I am not going to include the medicine. Okay, this is my order. It's 18 units per kilogram per hour. So like I said, this first part isn't asking about how much of this medicine I'm going to give, like the actual medicine. It's asking how many units are ordered, okay? So I'll need the order and I'll need the weight of the patient, which is 196 pounds. So my rules are you always start with what you're looking for. If you don't want to start what you look for, that's fine. But here, that's what I'm going to start with every single time. It's going to make my problem so much easier, okay? So, I'll put my 18 units per kilogram /hour first, okay? So you see, I got units on the top, boom, and I've got hour on the bottom already, boom, boom. So the only thing that needs to be canceled out are the kilograms, okay? My patient's weight is in pounds because I'm in the US, right? So that's what we usually use, pounds. So we have to do our pound to kilogram conversion. Does anybody know how many pounds are in 1 kilogram? This is one you need to know. If you don't know that nan other conversion, you need to know that 1 kg equals to 2.2 pounds. You'll see this a lot in your peds, your adults, your heparin. A whole bunch of medicines are based on the weight of the patient, okay? So you see, I'll just do my conversion right here. 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. My kilograms cancel out, and now I can put my weight of my patient at the top. My pounds are on the top, they're on the bottom, and they cancel out. So the only thing that is left is units on the top and hour on the bottom. We have not done any math until now. So we'll multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom, divide the top by the bottom, and that's it. So if you can multiply, if you can divide, you can do this. 18 times 196 divided by 2.2 is going to be 1603.636363. Did this tell us how to round? No. But I'm going to round it to the nearest tens place because that's what schools usually ask for. But you want to round to however they tell you to round. HESI, ATI, your professor, whoever. Okay? And this is units per hour. So that's to the first part. Is the concentration of the medication in most questions just fluff? No. It depends on what the question is asking you. In this one, we got two different questions. We want to see how fast we're going to set up our drip, but they also are asking how many units per hour. So that's the one that we're on now, the units per hour. Next, we'll set up the drip. So if it's not asking anything about the liquid part in the goal, we don't need the medicine. We need what's ordered, which is 18 kilograms per hour and the weight of the patient. Okay? So the fluff will be determined by what the question is asking. I hope that made sense. Okay? So now we'll do the second part of the question, which is how many milliliters per hour we're going to set the pump. Concentration is like the liaison that enables switching between a specific dose and a specific volume. The concentration of medicine is the medicine. It is the medicine that is available. How many medicine particles are floating around in the liquid vehicle? Okay? So, you always need the concentration of the medicine if you're trying to figure out how much of the medicine to give to the patient. Okay? All right, so now we need to know milliliter per hour. So, we have an order of 18 units per kilogram per hour. Our patient weighs 196 pounds. Our concentration of the medicine is 20,000 units, and it's floating around in 500 milliliters of normal saline, okay? So how am I going to set this up if my goal is milliliters and milliliters is on the top? We start with that top goal. We make it first. We put it on the top. So this has my milliliters in it. I'm going to take it and I'm going to flip it so that my milliliters are on the top because my goal is to get the goal. Milliliters on the top and hour on the bottom. Everything else cancels out. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. We'll keep going. All right. So 500 ml over 20,000 units. Okay. So now my units are on the bottom. I have to have my units on the top to cancel out. That's this puzzle piece. So 18 units per kilogram per hour. Units cancels out. And now I have kg on the bottom and hour on the bottom. Hour can stay. because that's the goal to get hour at the bottom. So kilograms has to be canceled out. Once again, my patient's weight is in pounds, so I need to convert it to kilograms. So 1 kg is 2.2 pounds times my 196 pounds over 1. Everything is canceled out except for milliliters on the top and hours on the bottom. Now you can do your math, okay? So 500 times 18 times 196 divided by 20,000 divided by 2.2 is going to equal 40.09. If this asked us to round to the nearest whole number, what would our answer be? Forty milliliters per hour. Any questions about this one? Y'all good? We thinking? Puzzle pieces. No math needed until the very end. Just multiplication and division. Would you do 20? Yep. So I keep my calculations in the calculator. I don't write all that down. A lot of you have time tests that you're already anxious, you're not sure. You're like, okay, I need time, right? So to cut down on the time that it takes to do 500 times 18 times 196, write it down. Then 20,000 times 2.2, write it down. Then go back in the calculator, whatever the top is divided by the bottom. I keep it all inside my calculator. It's called the calculator trick. So what you would do is you would enter all of your numbers across the top. So 500 times 18. I don't put the ones in because they don't make a difference. Times 196. And once you get to the end of that line at the top, you hit divide. So you see that big number? It's a big old number. It's a lot of zeros, right? So I'm not going to write that down. I just hit divide, and now I enter my numbers on the bottom. But instead of hitting multiply in between those, I hit divide. So 20,000 divided by 2.2. And then I hit the equal sign one time. And then that's what my answer is. Isn't that cool? Yeah. See, you learned something. But where is the part one of the question? Nikki, I did it. I did it first. That was the first part I did. I think it was 1,600 and something units. The replay is going to be on my YouTube channel, A Blessed RN. So if you would like to review some of these questions after we're done, then you can view the replay. Thank you. I appreciate it. I knew it was 16 something something rather nether. Okay. Alrighty. So here's another big boy. Okay, I didn't use it on the second part. I didn't use it on the second part. I just showed you how to do it because oftentimes they won't even ask a two-parter like that. They'll just ask for the milliliters per hour. I don't know what I was thinking, but either way, we saw both of them. But you see how you use the information that was available. You start with your goal, and then you just cancel out your units and set up the equation. Okay? A nurse is preparing to administer dopamine. All right, this is for all you ICU nurse students who you want to go into the ICU. This is you. This is you, right? This is your drug. All right, 7.5 mics per kg per minute. Continuous IV to a patient who weighs 85 kilograms. Available is 850 milligrams per 500 milliliters. The nurse is at the IV pump to deliver how many milliliters per hour? And we're going to round our answer to the nearest tenth. Trying to teach my tech that most times the way someone teaches you makes a huge difference. Macadamia nut, yes, and it does. It really, really does. Like because I tutor privately one-on-one, and it's just like some of the horror stories that I've heard. It's just, it's crazy. It incites fear and induces anxiety, And it's just crazy when it can be so simple. Like, we have not done not a bit of math except for multiplication, division, and addition so far. And you can do it too, you know? All right, so this is another weight based problem. So we'll need the three P's. So, what is our goal, first of all? That's the first thing. First thing is first, read the question and then find the goal. What is this asking for me to solve? Milliliter per hour, okay? So, goal, ml per hour. Okay, so what are our three P's? Our patient's weight is 85 kilograms. And if you have a problem with your dosage, try doing this setup like with the goal and your puzzle pieces, so you can see what it is that you're working with. All right, so 85 kgs, and then our prescription is 7.5 mics per kg per minute. You see how I kept that together? Everything that is together, that is linked, that is equal or relative something, one band, one sound. You keep it together, okay? So now our concentration of the medicine, our product is 850 mgs over 500 ml, okay? So that's all of our puzzle pieces that the question gave us. What are we going to start with if my goal is milliliter on the top and hour on the bottom? Whatever has the milliliters in it, okay? My medicine concentration, that's liquid. I'm going to start with my milliliters, okay? So it'll be 500 ml over 850 milligrams. Okay, we've used that piece, right? Once you use a piece in a puzzle, you can't use it again. So it's gone. So we have milligrams on the bottom. Do I have a puzzle piece with milligrams to put on the top to cancel it out? Mm-mm. I got micrograms. Can I put a microgram on top of a milligram? No, buddy, because it's smaller by, it takes 1,000 micrograms to come together to make 1 milligram, right? So this is where you need to use your conversions. So when I say know your metric conversions, know them and know them good, okay? So 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms. Boom, boom. Now I can put my micrograms at the top, okay? 7.5 micrograms per kilogram per minute. Mics cancels out. Now I got kgs and minutes at the bottom. I have a puzzle piece with kgs. So guess what I'm going to do? I don't need to convert it now because it's not in pounds. It's already in kilograms. So I'll do 85 kilograms, and it's just by itself. It does not equal a day, does not equal anything else. It's just by itself. Put it over 1, okay? That 1 will show you that when you get to multiplication, it's on the top. It doesn't go on the bottom, okay? So the last step is my minutes. I need hours. So there are 60 minutes in an hour. Another conversion. Everything is now gone except for milliliters on the top, hours on the bottom. And your puzzle piece is gone. It's completed. Now we can do the math, okay? Can I move in until I graduate? You don't want to come here. Oh my gosh. 500 times 7.5 times 85 times 60. And you see that long number? I'm going to keep it in the calculator. Divide 850 divided by 1,000. And 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 don't make a difference. So I got 22.5. Hey, honey. How are you? 22.5 mLs. Okay. I see you, Sadie and Adelina Angeles. Alrighty. Any questions on how I am doing this? And once you get the hang of it, it becomes fun. You have to stop at the goal now. You got to stop. Don't keep going and keep converting. You got to make it just look like the goal. Is this the hardest dosage calculation gets? No. There is one more that really trips people up. It's a microgram per kilogram per minute, but it'll be easy. Um, just like this, you just put together your puzzle pieces. You graduate in December. Oh shoot! Come on, the nurses are coming. You take your exam next week. You're excited. That's not something that you usually hear, but I'm glad you're excited. Okay. Any questions before I move on? Because I think I moved on too fast the last time. Y'all was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Been a medical assistant for years, just accepted to the RN program. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. I'm so excited. Um, I lost you at 60 minutes per hour. Okay. That was it. Like that was the end. You just multiply across the top, you multiply across the bottom, and divide the top by the bottom. And I kept it inside the calculator. So yeah, it's a long, long number. All those zeros, because you know how if you don't put zero in or you add a zero can make a big difference in your answer. It can make it really, really big, or it can make it really, really small. Yes. Oh, okay. But like, why did you put 60 over an hour? So I put 60 minutes over an hour because hold on, we had minute at the bottom that needed to be canceled out. So I needed to have hour at the bottom. I had minute. So this needs to be converted from minute to hour. So therefore 60 minutes is 1 hour. So then your minutes are at the top and they cancel out. You're trying to make your equation look like the goal. You want milliliter on the top, which we started with. We always start with that top goal. So you know everything else that comes behind it has to go either on the top, on the bottom, and cancel out, or it's the goal. Okay. And so when we got to minutes, minute wasn't an hour, but I know I can convert a minute to an hour. Well, 60 minutes to 1 hour. Okay. Um, hold on. Okay, let's see. Wait. Y'all went too fast. You start next school next month. Okay, cool. Awesome. Ah. Does it stay at 22.5 because there's nothing to round to after the 10th? Yes. So that is to the 10th place. It's just one decimal place. So it stays at 22.5. I just got into the ABSN program and we need to pass this exam. That's fine. You could do that. Boom, boom, boom. You could do it. I just passed my dosage quiz. Thank you. Loyalty. You're welcome and congratulations. I love puzzle pieces. Come on, God. Yes, ain't he good? Oh, I graduate in May and I'm scared. Baby, you got to graduate. What you scared of? The NCLEX? I got a person for that. That's gonna be the boot nurse and Nurse Lambert. So they partner up. I think they got a workshop coming up, a free NCLEX workshop. So the boot nurse is Nurse Kevin. So at the boot nurse, and then Nurse Glamber, well Amber. She used to be, I think, an aesthetic nurse, so her name was Glamber. I thought that was cute. But enhanced nursing, both of them, they tag team and they're doing a free NCLEX workshop on Zoom, and it's free. Like free. Okay. So y'all make sure y'all check it out. Um I got a 71 on my T's. Which schools can I apply to? Leo. I don't know nothing about the T's. I don't know nothing about school requirements. I just help you once you get in. However, I got a nurse for that one. Nurse Larissa, night nurse TV 305. She helps with all of that. Which schools are good, what you need, what you should focus on, all of that jazz. So that's who you need to consult. And you can send her a DM or email that she messages you back. Studying my T's. Where were you when I was in dosage? I was here. I've been here. Where were you? But no, the FYP is doing what it needs to do. Y'all double tap, son, and share the live so that more people can come in and defeat dosage with us. I appreciate it. You're welcome, though. Can you do one where yeah, microgram per kilogram per minute? Okay. Oh, thank you. What's her at? Oh, let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna get it for you because I don't want to say it the wrong way because I think she changed it. Hold on. Night nurse, night nurse, do 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 do. Night nurse, 305 TV. No, she just changed his other name. At night nurse. Wait, night nurse 305 TV. Okay, that's that one. Okay, so that is for like all of people who are doing pre-nursing or you do prerequisites or you're trying to do your T's and your HESI to get in. She can help so much, so much, so much. She's got a library of information that will help you with like all of the school stuff. And that's hers. And then at the boot nurse, this is for my nurses who are graduating. Ah, the nurses are coming. Okay, that is Nurse Kevin. And then enhanced nursing. Oh, at enhanced nursing. At enhanced nursing. That is the other part of the dynamic duo, okay? You nervous but excited? Congratulations. It's okay. It's going to be okay, I promise. I will do another one. I'm gonna pull up Reconstitution too. Y'all, I will be back tonight. Um, ooh, that one looks good, but no, I'm not gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna save it for tonight. I will be back on tonight at 8 p.m. I just came to give y'all a little sprinkle, tinkle, tinkle. Because that's what I usually do is Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we want to do a microgram per kilogram per minute and a reconstitution. Okay, mics per kg per minute and reconstitution. So you see, we started out. If you were here earlier, we started out doing a intake and an output question, and yeah, we've been doing the same method, the same setup. Have y'all noticed that? So that's why I really, really love the puzzle pieces, aka dimensional analysis, okay? Because you can do all of your problems the same exact way, okay? All right, so this is the one that somebody was asking, does it get harder? Hey baby, can you cut down the heat? It's hot. Been hot, been hot. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm about to burn up. I just got this sweatshirt on. It's Alabama, and we have like all 4 seasons in all 4 seasons. It'll literally snow tomorrow. Like, it's ridiculous. Okay, all right. So let me cool down, and there we go. All right. A patient is receiving drug D IV at 30 milliliters per hour. The patient weighs not 885 kilograms. My gosh. Today, let's do 85 kilograms, okay? You are supplied with drug D, 500 milligrams and 250 mLs of normal saline. How many mics per kilogram per minute is the patient receiving? Okay. All right. So our goal is mics per kilogram per minute. I'm gonna do this one and then I'm gonna do a reconstitution and then we'll reconvene for tonight, okay? Sound good? Y'all make sure you're following and you got your notifications on. And if you miss it, you can watch the replay on my YouTube channel. Please and thank you. All right. What are our puzzle pieces? Remember, what's together stays together. What's by itself is by itself, okay? 30 mLs per hour. That's together. 85 kilograms, not 885, is how much the patients weigh. Boom. All right. 250 mLs. Well, 500 milligrams and 250 mLs. Either way, because they equal to each other, they're still the same, right? They are relative to each other. 500 milligrams is in 250 milliliters of normal saline. So, what is the rule? The rule is to start with your goal, right? Do we have micrograms to start with? No. We got milligrams. What did I say do? I said we're gonna always start with the goal first, right? That is the rule. Besides writing the goal first, that is a heavy rule. We do not break it. We always start with the goal. If we don't have what we need to start with, you can use a conversion. Yeah, you can use a conversion. So that's why I said at the beginning and every single day, look at those conversions till you know them like you know the back of your hand, okay? So we at milligrams, I need micrograms. 1,000 micrograms equals 1 milligram, okay? So 1,000 micrograms is 1 milligram. Now I can put my milligrams on the top. So 500 milligrams is 250 mLs. Boom. Now I have my milliliters, right? So you see, I'm just taking my puzzle pieces and just putting it together, flip flopping it, canceling what's on the top and on the bottom. No math, okay? 30 ml over hour. Boom, boom. All right, now I'm at the hour. So we got microgram on the top. We need kg and minute at the bottom, right? I have hour. So what am I going to do? I need minutes. So I just do a conversion. 1 hour is 60 minutes. Cancel that out. So that's on the bottom. Boom. My last piece of the puzzle needs to be the kilograms. Right. Right, Lala. I see you. Where am I going to put the kilograms at if the goal is telling me to put it in a certain place? Is it going to be on the top or is it going to be on the bottom? Where did the goal tell you to put the kilograms? Right here on the bottom. Okay? You see it right there on the bottom? That's why I mean what's on the top and on the bottom. I guess you should say numerator and denominator. No, top and bottom, okay? It's on the bottom. So I'm going to put it on the bottom. 85 kgs is going to go right here. Boom. Now everything is in place. We got micrograms on the top. We've got kg on the bottom. And we've got minutes on the bottom. Your puzzle is complete without doing not an inch of math. Until now. So we can multiply and divide. That's it. Okay? Does this make sense? Anybody have any questions? 1,000 times 500 times 30 divided by 250 divided by 60 divided by 85. In my professional opinion, I think this is the hardest type. This might be the hardest type that you'll get. Besides some of those like extra wordy ones and like 2 steps, this is the hardest. So I got 11.76. Yeah. Micrograms per kilogram per minute. If this asked us to round to the nearest tenths place, what would our answer be? So we start at the tenth place, we go to its neighbor, say, hey, neighbor. And if that is a 5 or more, we raise the score by 1. So our answer would be 11.8 micrograms per kilogram per minute. Yes, I have a YouTube, Shelly, and I am streaming there right now. And as soon as we get done studying it together, it will be there for the replay. Yes, yes, a blessed RN. All of my links to my workbook, my website, which has quizzes on there. Yeah. My e-workbook, my spiral bound version of that book. All of my links are in my bio. My YouTube is on there. If I don't know what's gonna happen on April the 5th. I don't know. So if TikTok is gone, I'm still here. I've been here, right? So I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. But yes, YouTube will definitely have my live sessions there. Okay? You're welcome. I will be back on tonight at 8 o'clock tonight. So I have some more of these microgram per kilogram per minute problems because these are my favorite. This is like how I make believers out of non-believers. For real. Because you see how this could be so mathy. It could be really, really, really mathy. But we don't have to do that. You just keep what's together, and you just flip flop and cancel your puzzle pieces. That's it. That's it. Okay. Did I just start? Yeah. I did not just start Bambi. I've been what is this? 5 or 6 questions in? I don't know. But I will be back on tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hey, beautiful. Thank you for blessing our world with amazing people like you who love to help. Oh, you're welcome. How are you doing, Mama Four? Okay. Somebody asked me about a reconstitution question. So I'm gonna do a reconstitution. I can't talk. Sister, as nursing folks who are trying to survive through med dosage, I can't thank you enough for all you do. It's because of you that I can comprehend this easily. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad I can be able to help y'all because tuition, when did tuition become an arm, a leg, a two-piece biscuit, a drink, and everything else? Like, good gosh. It's too much. It's too much. I'm gonna show y'all this about reconstitution, but y'all come back on tonight. That's the official time, okay? 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'll have a whole bunch more. This was just a little session. All right, reconstitution. Let's see. All right, so let me tell you something. Mm. Reconstitution does not have to be confusing. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought my dog was done getting groomed. Okay, what I was saying? What I was saying? What I was saying? It does not have to be confusing. Okay, what reconstitution is taking a liquid, a powdered medicine, adding liquid to it because you know it can't stay liquid forever. It expires, right? Especially your antibiotics, they're only good for a certain amount of time. So once you reconstitute it, which means adding the liquid to the powder, shaking it up and making it a liquid, then you can give it to your patient. Okay, what you need to do for reconstitution problems is concentrate on the concentration of the medicine. Thank you. After it has been reconstituted, okay? How much is in the vial? How much water or normal saline you add? How much approximate volume it's going to produce? None of that is important. We want to know how many medicine particles are floating around in the liquid particles. So milligrams per milliliter, grams per milliliter, milliequivalents per milliliter, whatever the medicine is per liquid, okay? All right, so a nurse is preparing to administer drug M, 375 milligrams IM. The nurse reconstitutes a vial of drug M, 2 grams, to yield a final concentration of 250 mg's per 2 milliliters. How many milliliters should the nurse? It's supposed to be administered. Oh, typo. All right. Anywho, so what's the goal? The goal is milliliters, right? That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. All right. So what's ordered is our 375 milligrams. So that's what the doctor wants us to give to the patient, right? What is your concentration of your medicine after it has been reconstituted? Mm-hmm. So this right here is what we need because after you have added what some however many liquid to it, however much liquid to it, this is what you're gonna get. That is your medicine that's available after you have reconstituted it. So just because it says a vial of yep, don't care, don't matter. Concentrate on the concentration. Now we can set it up the same way that we've been setting it up, right? So my milliliters will go on top. So that's 2 mLs over 250 mg's times my 375 mg's over 1 milligrams cancels out. And now we have just milliliters, which is what the question is asking for. So 2 times 375 divided by 250 is going to be 3 milliliters. And okay, let's do a little sprinkle. So if we have 3 milliliters of medication and we're supposed to be giving it IM, what would be an appropriate site to give this medicine? Because 3 milliliters, that's not a small amount, right? What muscle could we give this in? I failed my dosage pediatrics quiz. Oh no, do you get another try? What was on there? Please, what did you get? Okay, so I did 2 times 375, which was like 750, I think. Hold on, 2 times no, it's five. Hold on, 2 times no 375, which is 750, right? And then that's on the top. Then 250 times one is 250. Divide the top by the bottom, and that's when you get 3 milliliters. Okay, so you give it glute, you give it the vastus lateralis, you give it the ventrogluteal, dorsal gluteal, but I would not advise you to do a deltoid, because a deltoid, that's that small triangle size muscle, right? That's right there. So that doesn't hold a whole lot of medicine. So yes, that is your sprinkle of farm too. You're welcome. All right. Am I using dimensional analysis? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I always, I will, that is my go to. Okay. That's the puzzle piece method that I came up with. That's what we're doing. We're doing puzzles, but it's with dimensional analysis. I'll do desired over half. I'll do ratio and proportion if somebody asks me to. But for the most part, I heavily suggest that you learn how to do dimensional analysis. And I know people come from me, but desired over half, desired over half, desired over half. Desired over half is good. It's effective for the easy stuff like this, right? But for this one, like this, hold on. What's the one that we just did? Eyes gone. The one that we just did before with the micrograms per kilogram per minute, that could be a real hard problem if you were trying to do it with desired over half. If you weren't good at math. With dimensional analysis, you don't have to be good at math. You just got to be able to read, write, arithmetic, multiply, divide. That's it. Okay? That's it. Um, I didn't understand what information to take out the problem. We were taught an hour before. Okay, that's crazy. I hate that. No. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm trying to keep up with all the messages, y'all. I'm great, thank you. I'm good. I'm just working. Just here to refresh. And tomorrow I take my farm ATI proctor. I did a study session with the girl you referred me to. Okay, good. Awesome. I hope it went well. Let's see. Ho, 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 ho. All right. You got your final exam, and this will be on it tomorrow. Reconstitution? Okay, let's look at another reconstitution. Mm. All right, let's look. So the doctor orders drug B 10 milligrams IV 3 times a day. The instructions on the 0.25 gram container says to reconstitute with water to make 0.5 grams per 3 milliliters. You would administer how many milliliters per dose? Okay? So, I'm sorry, y'all. That's my favorite. I can't understand anything else. I'm so glad I came across this. You got an exam tomorrow? Okay. Y'all, we studying some more tonight, too, okay? 8 p.m. So, like, this got to be the last one because I haven't ate lunch and I still got more work to do. So, I'll be back on tonight, all right? With DA is easy to cross out. I'm horrible at math, dimensional analysis, how I'm understanding anything. Yes. Eastern time is 9. Because I'm Central time. Okay. I understand the concept of DA. I just have issues setting it up. Okay, Heather. I'm gonna show you how to do this one, but then tonight we'll go deeper into it. I also have a YouTube channel, y'all. If you're starting out with school and you need to learn how to do your metric conversions, how to put them together and group them together, because usually they just slap this big chart at you and say learn these. I break it apart and like put it in ways that you can like see it and kind of memorize it. So there's a video on that. There's a video on the puzzle piece method on how you set it up. So there's a dosage calculations like basics list, and then there's the replay of this, and then there are also a list of videos. Okay, so you got some help there. All right. But we will be studying again tonight. So this one, the order, well, the goal, because that's the first thing, right, is milliliters per dose. Okay, so this is one dose. Okay, 10 milligrams is one dose, and they want to give one dose TID, right, 3 times a day. It's just asking how many milliliters per day. No, we don't need that part. Okay, that's how you use the goal to pick out your information. It is just for one dose. I have a dose amount, okay? Now, what is the concentration of the medicine after it has been reconstituted? Concentration is that zero point 0.5 grams per 3 ml. Okay? We don't need this 0.25 gram. We don't need to know how much is in there. Okay? Don't need to know it. It's fluff. It's fluff. Fluff. It's fluff. All right? So, set it up the same way that we've been setting it up. We always start with this top unit first. Keep your goals first. They're your top priority, right? Make that first unit your first puzzle piece and put it where? On the top. You see how you got on the top and on the bottom? That's what I mean. We want the units of measure to be where the goal tells us to put them. Okay? So 3 ml over 0.5 grams. Now, I don't have grams to put on top because remember, I can't put a gram on top of a milligram. A milligram is 1,000 times smaller, right? So this is where your conversion comes in. So 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. Grams crosses out. Now I have milligrams on the bottom, so I can put my milligrams on the top. 10 mg over 1 dose because that's how much is ordered for a dose, right? Now look what we have. The puzzle is completed. We got milliliters on the top and dose on the bottom, okay? Now we can do the math. So 3 times 10 divided by 0.5 divided by 1,000. So 0.06 mLs per dose. You explained it so well. Thank you. I've been told that. King Henry died by chocolate milk helps. Yeah, it does. But if you also just know that I use the cookie analogy. So you got a cookie, right? All right. So last thing, and then I promise you I'm gonna eat. But we'll be back tonight. Y'all keep trying to reel me in. Stop it. I gotta eat and do some more work. But I promise we'll be back. I will be back on tonight, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you have followed. And if you miss it, go to my YouTube, subscribe there, and you can watch all the replays and all the other stuff that I have for you that's already there. Okay? So listen. This is how you do your metric conversions, how you can remember them. And like I said, it's already a video there too, but we're going to discuss it now. You got a cookie, right? That cookie is 1 gram, okay? So, your cookie is always going to be your base unit. It can be a gram, a meter, liter, or unit, okay? So, if you got a cookie and you break it into 1,000 pieces, you got 1,000 little crumbs, right? So 1 gram equals 1,000 milligrams. If you pick up that crumb, which is a milligram now, right? And you smush it down even further into little residue dust particles, right? There are micro pieces, the smallest ones, right? So 1 little crumb is 1,000 little micro pieces. 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms, okay? Now we're going to gather all of our crumbs, put them all together, make one big cookie again, right? Let's say we go into Costco's and we're feeling real big backish and we want a whole bunch of cookies, right? We want a big kahuna size, a kilogram size container with many cookies in it. So 1 kilogram has 1,000 grams. So you see 1 to 1,000, 1 to 1,000, 1 to 1,000. The one is always going to go by the bigger unit of measure because it takes a lot of little pieces to come together to make one big thing. Does that make sense? Chief Keef, are you with me? Oh yeah, we at church, we ain't going nowhere. Hey. Does that make sense? That's how my brain works sometimes. Hopefully it did. Now you're speaking my language. Okay, so that's your metric conversions. All right. 1 to 1,000, 1 to 1,000, 1 to 1,000. These are the ones that you're going to use the most, okay? The King Henry diet, that's got your hecto and your deca and your deci and your centi in there. So you might need those for like the first initial like how they have like conversion tests. But for the dosage calculations part, these are the ones you're gonna use. Okay. So then your liquids, okay? Does she? I don't know if he says Chief Keef. Listen, I mess up songs all the time. Don't listen to me, okay? All right. So your liquids. You got smaller liquids and then you got big liquids, right? Because you got your teaspoons, tablespoons, ounces, cups, pints, quarts, gallons. Split that jank up. Don't try to learn all of it and smush it together. Do the smaller ones and then the bigger ones. He says GP. I think it was like God's property, but it sounded like he said cheeky. Y'all don't want to know the things that I have inserted to songs. Like, I know. All right, so listen. The smaller ones, your teaspoons, your tablespoons, and your ounces, right? So those all equal milliliters. 5 ml, 15 ml, 30 ml. So 1 teaspoon is 5, 1 tablespoon is 15, 1 ounce is 30. You see the commonality between it? It's 5, 15, 30. All of them are factors of 5, right? It's 3 teaspoons to make a tablespoon and then 2 tablespoons to make an ounce. Teaspoon, tablespoon, then an ounce. Hey, 5 ml, 15 ml, 30 ml. Okay. T goes on top of the table. That's inside of the ounce house. Smallest to large. Y'all got it? Yes, the answer was 0.06 page. I'm just teaching y'all how to kind of break down these metric conversions and so they won't be so intimidating. Because y'all can know them. Y'all can know them. 5, 15, 30. All right? The bigger parts of your liquids are going to be your cups, pints, ounces, and quarts, right? So 1 cup equals 8 ounces or 240 milliliters. If you know this one, you can deduce and get this one, okay? So no, 1 cup is 8 ounces. So your 2 cups equals 1 pint. 2 pints equals 1 quart. 4 quarts, like a quarter, equals a gallon. So you see 2 to 1, 2 to 1, 4 to 1. So 2 cups is a pint. 2 pints is a quart. 4 quarts is a gallon. There you go. 5, 15, 30, teaspoon, tablespoon, ounce. 1 cup is 8 ounces. 2 cups is a pint. 2 pints is a quart. 4 quarts is a gallon. All right. Then, of course, you need to know your 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. That's the golden one. That is the golden time of day. Whatever Frankie Beverly May said, right? Boom. You need to know that one, especially for your, hey, Toy Toy, how are you, girly? Especially for your peds and your weight base. You'll see a lot of that 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. Also, you need the 1 pound is 16 ounces. So, you know, when they have like the babies and they say, oh, the baby was 8 pounds, 12 ounces. Well, the questions you need to go from pounds to kgs. You can't go from pounds and ounces to kgs. So you have to know how to convert pounds to, well, ounces to pounds and then add them together. Okay? And then what else we need? 1 foot is 12 inches. So that's a ruler, right? And then 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Okay? That should get you through. Quit making these conversions so hard. 1 to 1,000, 1 to 1,000, 1 to 1,000, the cookies, the crumbs, okay? Then you got your OJ the juice man. Hey, okay, 15, 5, 15, 30. Then you got your 2 to 1, your 2 to 1s, and your 4 to 1s. Y'all, come and study with me tonight. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah. It was so cool meeting some of you. Some of you have come back. I guess we're making some progress with the puzzle pieces, but I'm gonna go eat and y'all have a good rest of your day. Make sure you go to the YouTube and subscribe there too so you can watch the replays and the other videos and the hints and the tips and the tricks. The website has quizzes. The website has my ebook. It has my spiral book. And then, of course, if you want to study with me too, it's got my booking. All right. See you tonight. Mountain time? Maybe 7. Because what is it? Central, Mountain, then Pacific, right? So I think it's 7. Cut all your notifications. don't don't take it by heart. Don't take me at it because I think it's Mountain Time is 7. Black Panther, you're welcome. You're welcome, Mama G. You're welcome. All right, y'all. Take it easy, and I will see you tonight. Cut all your notifications. You're welcome. All right, y'all. Take it easy, and I will see you tonight.